Yeah, I think number one, we've got to be able to find ways to create some pressure on the quarterback. I think that there's, those are things that, we've kind of lacked of consistency, probably in the last year and a half. And, the ability to create a one-on-one and winning a one-on-one pass rush at times. And, there's different ways we can do that. It's not just always on those guys, but, I think the ability to get consistent play is going to be really important. I really think Ike has taken I think if you really study the film from a year ago, Ike played really good football. And, I think made some of those plays. Could he have played more? Should we have got him on the field more? I think you probably could have argued that. We talked about that in the offseason. The reality of it is then you supplement that group with Jace Gilbert, who really came on, if you would have said again, last 5 to 6 weeks of the season in bowl prep, he played in the bowl game, actually played pretty good, had some production in the bowl game. I think this guy's going to be a really, really talented football player, more cut out of the physical 285, 290 pound, like attacky kind of defensive end. Cannon Butler has really had a great transition from UNI here. He was a captain a year ago at UNI. Again, physical football player. He's really got his weight up. I think he's certainly physically super impressive, and I think he'll be in competition. I think you go over to the field defensive end. I think Tamatoa, it's hard to comment on him a ton yet because you haven't seen him in full pads. But geez, from a physical specimen standpoint, the way he moves, his length, what I think even in maturity of repetition every day, it's been really impressive to watch him go to work. And I've got a really good feeling that he's in to compete for major opportunity to help this football team. Miles Mendezoon's a fifth-year senior here who's got a great motor, who's had some pretty positive moments for us in special teams and has had moments on defense that I think have been impressive. I think Vontroy Malone is a young man from Tulsa that he was healthy, was with us all spring, and I thought had a really good spring for us. And I think the guy that's got some wild moments already is Trey Bernard, and I think you can't count him out. You talk about a guy that was a real problem in spring ball for us as a young freshman that came in here and then had a whole summer to really transform his body and what that guy looks like. I think he brings some uniqueness to the table. So I'm excited about what that room has to offer. Elijah Nakansa is a guy that can bump inside and out. Played at Utah last year, played down the stretch, was flashes of some elite football in his career coming forward. And I think you'll see that of Elijah. He can play both inside and out, so I think he's another guy that gives you flexibility. So, Elijah's almost, 305 and a guy that can go inside and outside and do some things with his length and size. So, yeah, we're excited. I think there's multiplicity there. Obviously you have dominant here on the inside of it that I think we're super excited about what that group's got the ability to look like. But, I think we're certainly a different looking defensive line than we were a year ago, and that part's certainly positive. And you add some of the growth of the young guys, you add a young guy like Trey, and then some of those veteran guys that came in here. But I think there's going to be great competition.